The reason why you don't have a good eco during the late game is because you don't go H4 soon enough. In this video, I'll cover everything that you should know about when it comes to late game eco. So what I mean by not going H4 is that when you're playing a European civ, your factories are key in order to have a good eco, and by reaching the industrial age sooner, the faster you get them and the more resources you'll get. In team games, rather age up to 4 when you have the resources than to spam a ton of troops. Obviously, if you're under a lot of pressure, maybe you want to stay age 3 for a little while longer, but if you can age, you should do it and age up with the 2 falconets because you'll get your 1000 resources back as soon as you age up. The factories are just so important because they can generate your wood at a 5.5 gather rate, and with their wood upgrade, it'll make them gather it at a 7.15 rate, which is worth 9 upgraded villagers on wood or 12 if they gather at a 0.5 rate. Double that amount and you have 15 wood per second, which will be enough alone to prepare you for the mill estates transitions if you get them early enough, which is why it's so important to age to industrial age whenever you can. Also, if you are in the industrial age too late, you'll have had to chop all of your wood with your villagers to get your plantations and mills set up because you'll have missed the opportunity to age up. And when there's no more hunts or coin on the map, you are focused to get mills estates. Because of that, you are most likely going to lose because your opponents will have had his factories on wood the entire time and will have gotten all his mills and estates from that alone. Now, if you are playing as Inca, Swedes, Japan, or any civs that has more villagers or buildings that generates resources, having a lot of villagers chopping wood at the same time ain't so bad, because your economic building will generate income meanwhile. I would, however, suggest that you put your torps or shrines on wood or near wood instead of gathering the wood with your villagers. Another advantage to going H4 sooner is that you can get your last 2 estates upgrades sooner, which is very worth it. This means that if you're gonna go H4 much sooner, well then you can get them, and if you're going to H4 too late and you already have all your plantations set up with only a plus 10% gather rate on coin, well then it's gonna take you a while to age up to 4 and you're just gonna have way less eco in total. Now, moving on to my next point. If you are out of coin mines and hunts, usually it's time to go on mills and plantations rather than risking losing your vills because you brought them too far up. For instance, if there is a coin mine but it's in the middle of the map, it's probably better to just build an estate because by the time you'll reach that coin mine, you should have the time to chop that 600 wood and get that estate up, which means that you'll gather less for a while, but once the coin mine would be finished or would run out, you wouldn't have to come all the way back, risking your vills to get caught by hussars or losing many villager seconds. Technically, it'll give you a free estate just by saving that walking time. Same goes for hunts. The only time I would recommend reaching for a middle coin mine or hunts is if you are close to reaching the industrial age and it's worth it because your factories will come in sooner and pay off for the villager walking time used to go to that mine or hunt. The other exception would be when you have map control and you think your villagers are secured or safe enough. Other than that, try to avoid these type of plays because an outpost won't be enough to protect your vills from a 30 hussar mass later in the game. My third point is pretty simple. Get more town centers. Having 3 town centers would be considered bad in a 1v1 game, except if you're playing as the Ottomans or Portugal civilizations or maybe Inca. The reason being that you can't afford to spend 300 food on vills every time and get all that wood. It's just simply too slow and you'll lose before you have time to do it. But it's extremely worth it in any team games. What I suggest you do is get 2 town centers in 1v1 when your 1000 wood shipment arrives, and get 3 town centers in team games using either your villagers to chop it, but also sending in your 1000 wood shipment in H3 as well. This way you'll be able to generate so many vills and have a solid eco that will last for the entire game. My last point is to send in your eco cards in team games. This is so crucial. Rather than sending in a military shipment, send in refrigeration in 3v3, 4v4 games and outboom your opponents. 8 skirmishers won't do the trick in a team game. it won't be the difference maker. Worst case scenario, they have an innate skirmisher lead and they attack. Big deal. All you gotta do is call in your Minutemans and their advantage is lost. The only good unit shipments that would be worth sending in team games are probably their mercenaries and 2 falconets / organ guns / 3 Gatling guns. Other than that, try sending in the eco cards first. And also, don't forget to make vills. That's really important. So this is the end for this video. I believe I've covered up on everything I wanted to talk about in this one. And I also don't want it to be too long. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, share my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.